I have a goal for you today. And by the end of my time with you here today, I want you to have step by step the tools that you need to begin to overcome the thoughts that you're thinking that aren't serving you anymore. And it starts with this. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And I know all too well what it's like to be in a place of suffering for far too long. So hi, my name is Eden Gold. I'm a 23-year-old speaker on a mission to impact 1 billion lives. And when I was 10 years old, my father went to prison on a life sentence without parole. To this day, my dad has no release date. What I didn't realize at the time was that I was looking for ways to blame myself. I was looking for the things that were wrong with me until subconsciously my mind went into full gear on concentrating solely on the way that my body looked until the urge to disgrace and reprimand my body became so volatile that I developed a deadly habit just a few short years later. I became bulimic by age 15. I was quickly convinced by both myself and my environment that I wasn't good enough just being me. I was convinced I needed to change something. My face, my body, everything. I was so unsure of everything, yet the one thing I was certain of at the time was that I hated myself. And now I look back and I can see that I was just a starving Marvin who wanted some snacks. I mean, can you blame me? But you know what? What I recognized to be true 6 excruciating years later was that my behaviors were merely a lack of self-awareness and education on the topics of mental health, grief, and effectively coping with negative emotions. And that's when I realized pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. But perhaps I should say that suffering is optional when you know what choices that you have. So today I stand here to give you the tools that you need to make a choice so that you too can recognize the thoughts that you are having that aren't serving you and you can change them. So if you're ready for that, put in the chat, I'm ready. Let me know that you're here with me today. So a little background. Did you know that the average person has over 6,000 thoughts per day? 80% of the thoughts that you have on a given day are negative. And 92% of the thoughts that you will have by the end of the day today are equivalent to the thoughts that you had yesterday. And I know that all of you can probably think off the top of your head a reoccurring negative thought that repeats over and over and over. It's ingrained into your subconscious. But just as we can build habits, and yes, negative thinking is a habit that you've built, we can break down those habits and we can build new ones. So if you want to know how, type a yes in the chat and I have some steps for you. Get ready to take some notes. And I encourage you to take this challenge with me. Number 1, we're going to set aside a half hour. That's it. To journal about why you need to think differently. Not why you want to, why you need to. What is that greater outcome that's going to pull you out of this way of thinking? If you can't think of one, get yourself into a community of people who can inspire you, like this one here today. Number 2, write a list. Take a black pen and write a list of all of the negative words and phrases that you tell yourself. And be honest and don't judge yourself. This is a time for curiosity, not judgment. Number 3, take a red pen and cross out each of those words that you just wrote in black ink and write its opposite underneath, right? So if I wrote down that I always tell myself that I'm ugly, I'm going to cross it out and I'm going to write, I'm beautiful. And right there, what you've just created is your own personalized, unique set of affirmations that mean something to you. No one else, to you. Number 4, create phrases, sticky notes, vision boards, letters, whatever you want using these words. And again, if you can't think of anything, if you're lacking the motivation, if you're stuck in a depression or something, a community is what's going to save you. Facebook groups, again, a community like this one, therapy, groups, in-person groups, friends, family that you can get on board to do this with you. You're never alone in the way that you feel, although we think that often. And that can help you take one step, just one step. Number 5, read or look at what you've created every day. And when I say read, I mean read out loud, because when we hear things with our actual voices, it sounds different than when we think it in our head. If you understand and you agree with me, type a yes in the chat. When I speak out loud, I am beautiful, I hear it different than when I think, yeah, I'm beautiful. I know I am. My thoughts are crazy. Like, I understand. Our thoughts are happening so fast. And number 6, understand that habits take time to create, because we don't get what we want. We get what we are. And through the life-changing power of positive self-talk and living in synchronicity to those thoughts through our actions, you will become somebody better. And I want to hear you, or I want to see you blow up that chat if you are up for this challenge. Because why? Action takers see results. And everyone else gets to sit on the sidelines watching as the people around them succeed because they took one step at a time. And I don't want you to be on the sidelines. I want you to be here with us today. If you do nothing else, take one step in the right direction. And here I leave you today by saying, I drank, I smoked, I binged, and I purged because I wanted to. Then it became a habit. Then I did it out of necessity. I began recovery out of necessity. Then it became a habit. And now I stay better because I want to. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Thank you.